Okay, so picture a world map in your head right now. You've got the United States over on one side, and then way, way over on the other side, you've got Russia, right? Separated by these massive oceans. But what if I told you that mental picture, the one we all have, is kind of playing a trick on us?
So with that map in mind, just take a guess. How far apart are these two global giants really? I bet you're thinking, I don't know, thousands upon thousands of kilometers. At least a very, very long plane ride.
And yeah, if you measure it the way you'd think to on a map, you'd get a number something like this, 7,500 kilometers. That is a huge distance, and honestly, for most of us, that's where the story ends. But that number, it's actually at the center of a really big geographical misunderstanding.
The reality is, these two countries are so much closer. I mean, shockingly, almost unbelievably closer. See, the real answer isn't found by looking at the whole map. It's found by zooming in, way in, on one very specific little spot.
The whole secret to this story is right here, in this little sliver of water that cuts Asia off from North America, the Bering Strait. And this is where things start to get really, really interesting.
All right, let's push in even closer, right into the middle of the strait. Forget about those huge continents for just a second. As we zoom in, you start to see them. Two tiny little islands just popping up seemingly in the middle of nowhere.
And the distance between these two little islands, get this, it's just 3 kilometers. That's it, 3. Not 7,500, but 3. This is the actual, real-life, physical distance that separates the United States and Russia at their closest point. It's incredible.
But these two little dots of land are so much more than just rocks sticking out of the ocean. They represent the literal border between two completely different worlds. And as you're about to see, they could not be more different from each other.
Just look at this contrast. The smaller island, which is called Little Diomede, that's American territory, and it's home to a small community of just 82 people. The bigger one, Big Diomede, that's Russian, and its only residents, soldiers. You've got a civilian town and a military outpost practically right next door to each other. Just let that sink in for a moment. The closest American presence to all of Russia isn't some embassy in a big city or a distant military base. It's these 82 people, living their lives just a quick boat ride away from Russian soil. It puts a real human face on what we usually think of as just a line on a map.
Now, if you thought a 3-kilometer water border was the most amazing part of the story, well, nature has one last incredible twist for us.
Because when the brutal Arctic winter rolls into the Bering Strait, something absolutely wild happens to that little 3-kilometer gap of water.
The water that separates these two islands freezes over. And we're not talking about just a thin layer of ice here. No, it freezes completely solid. It forms what people call an ice bridge. That water border, it basically just disappears for a while.
And the result is it's mind-blowing. A literal solid bridge made of ice physically connects the United States to Russia. For part of the year, you could, in theory, step off American land and just walk to Russia. The two countries actually become one continuous piece of land.
So it leaves us with this one last thought, doesn't it? Physically, these two massive nations can be so close you can literally walk from one to the other. It's this direct, tangible connection. And yet, in almost every other way you can think of, politically, culturally, how far apart are they really?